Welcome back. The Trump administration, the DOJ, launching investigations into the use of DEI at major U.S. companies. The DOJ is going after companies that engage in diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's a really big deal. According to the Wall Street Journal, they're using a federal law that's meant to punish businesses that cheat the government. Under the umbrella of the False Claims Act, the Justice Department embracing the theory that holding a federal contract while still considering diversity, equity, and inclusion when hiring is considered fraud against the government. Alphabet's Google, Verizon, among the list of public and privately held companies with federal contracts that are under investigation for this DEI fraud. What I love about this is Kari Lake joins us tonight. Is that Kari? They're using any way they can to go after what is such an insidious practice in this country, in a country that's all about merit and hard work. To have DEI is so toxic, and they're saying we got to figure out a way to go after these people to stop it from ever happening again.
Yeah, you got to get creative. There's a lot of laws on the books, and it looks like they found one, and they believe they can root out this absolutely horrific DEI practice, which is, of course, a practice that is racist. I mean, we're not a racist country. Why should we allow for racism in our hiring practices? That's been going on for far too long. You're right. We are a country based on merit. Hard work will get you ahead, and that's what the Trump administration wants to move back toward.
Absolutely. Zohran Mamdani here in New York has his pick for the FDNY commissioner, the first openly gay woman to lead the department, has no operational firefighting experience, name's Lillian Bonsignor right there on the left, leads EMS operations for the fire department. I have no doubt that in the current position that she holds, she's likely to be competent. She had that position under Eric Adams, who's a fairly sensible mayor in this city and has a much more sensible governance of the city. But the fact that it seems to me, and you see this a lot, especially with someone like Mamdani, is they're so desperate to find, you got to find anybody that's got pronouns, anybody that's got something unique, unusual to run it, because that's the only thing that they're looking at. I thought we learned this lesson. I thought people were over this nonsense, and yet here we are.
Yeah, they want to check the box, you know. Frankly, I don't care who you're sleeping with. I just don't want to hear about it. And that goes for whether you're straight or gay. I mean, I think most people feel that they miss the days when you just didn't advertise that and talk about that. You keep some things private. You have a private life and you have a public life and a professional life. And I think people are getting really sick of that. And I would think that they've learned their lesson. I even think I've got many friends who happen to be gay. They're tired of it. They're tired of just being defined by that, and they don't want that either. Let's define people by the content of their character, what they do, how they help, how they make improvements and bring improvements to this world, rather than what's going on in their private life in their bedroom.
Yeah, and just the idea that if Lillian Bonsignor was a straight woman, everybody now wonders, would she have actually gotten this job? Or certainly if she were.
Or God forbid, in this
else.
world, a straight white male. My God. I mean, goodness gracious.
The worst.
They have been demonized, and I think everyone's recognizing that now.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's not a firefighter, you know, it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't make a lot of sense, and that's why it makes sense, because it's Zohran the moron, who takes over here in about 3 days. Kari Lake, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt Tonight on Newsmax.